So what do you call yourself? Welcome to the LaTangela Show.
Hey, what can I do for you this fine day?
This is your destiny. Hot, hot, hot.
Right now.
Welcome to the LaTangela Show.
Kick it.
Come on in and enjoy yourself.
Right now.
We gon' party like no one else. Welcome to the LaTangela Show.
Good morning, sunshine. There we are. Mic sounds nice. Is your mic working?
I think so.
Mic check 1, 2. Yeah, there you go. Welcome back to another episode of the LaTangela Show podcast. You know, it does my heart well, especially when you have those in the community that's willing to come in the hot seat on the tan line. And Chief Morse, you are back like you never left. How have you been?
I'm doing good. I'm very happy to be back on the tan line. I've been missing you.
Listen, we've missed you too. We understand that you've been busy, and I want this to be an extension of your office. So that way we always keep the line of communication open. And not only are we keeping the public aware of the things that's going on, but the way that we can help pay it forward and to be a part of whatever it is that we need to bring this crime level down.
100%. You know, it's not just a catchphrase for me that it takes more than just law enforcement to tackle the problem of crime. You know, everything from resources to community involvement. And so we need everybody involved.
And when you say community involvement, how involved are the community being right now, especially with the summer months? We have a lot of opportunities for children to either get occupied with the right thing or the wrong thing. What does that look like in the efforts on behalf of the BRPD?
Yeah, so summer we typically see it as kind of escalation in our juvenile crime, mainly property crimes, vehicle burglaries, things like that, kind of spiking. Idle hands, make devil's work. And so really, all the summer programming that's going on, there's a lot of it out there. Really, if you got kids, you're listening to this, you got grandkids, doesn't take a lot of research to find things from a law enforcement side to the library side to community side, your council person. Everybody out there is having free summer camps, things for the kids to do, to be involved with, keep them busy, keep them occupied, get them resources so they can stay busy.
Yeah, and that's important. One of the programs that you all have that I don't think we harp on enough, this Junior Cadet from the ages of 18 to 21, is not just a program that's giving them exposure, giving them a check, but this is also entering into a career force. Tell me a little bit about Junior Cadets.
Yeah, so we start off with our Explorer program, which is, kind of a volunteer thing from ages 14 to 18. And then we actually hire people in the position of a cadet at the Baton Rouge Police Department from 18 to 21. They were part of our new pay raise, so they got a substantial pay bump too, which is good money for somebody, that's 18, 19, 20 years old.
Right.
If you're thinking about a career in law enforcement, it's especially good, but even not, right? You just, you're looking for, do your part. We have a lot of things in law enforcement that we'd like to expose you to, everything from answering 911 calls to being a fingerprint tech to dispatcher and working in CIU, and then see everything that the Baton Rouge Police Department has to offer. All of our detective divisions, specialized divisions with drones and dive team and explosive and K9, SWAT, motors. We got a little bit of it all being the capital city police department.
Right. You're entering into your third year, and I know you've seen a lot of changes, a lot of different things that you were able to implement on your watch. What is the biggest task that's in front of you right now that you would like us to help you accomplish?
Yeah, so the biggest task, I think, and it's just kind of an ongoing thing, is just gang group gun violence, right? And, I go places and get some flack and pushback sometimes like, hey, Chief, why don't you just call it a gang as gang? And really the main thing is just federal guidelines saying, hey, this is officially a gang, right? And a lot of it is just, 4 or 5 people on Instagram doing hashtag the same 3 letters and saying that they're a gang. But wherever they are, if they're out there committing violent crimes and have weapons, we're looking at going after them, and we're using every resource we can, especially as the summer comes up and there's some more resources for us with grant funding for overtime and partnerships that we're doing to go after the small percentage of the people out there in the community that are behind these violent crimes.
Yeah. And, I'm glad that you touched on that, especially for the summer months. Statistically, it's proven that crime rates spike, especially on the younger side of it throughout the summer months. Every time you turn on the news, it's getting harder to do this job because you have to report it. And at this point, you know who did it or who it happened to. It's still a space where people are uncomfortable enough to say, look, I know who did it. I want to say something before the retaliation kicks in. It's a lot of that going on right now. When it comes down to gun safety, what are we doing to make sure that we get some of these guns off the streets?
Yeah, so we're recovering, between 1,500 to 2,000 guns a year, right, off the streets on average. And so we're out there doing it, doing our part. But like you said, it's a community thing. We need people to feel safe enough to report stuff, not know that they're going to stay anonymous, to give us information. If they know something, they see something, let us know. And at some point, it's just, people are going to have to say enough is enough. We're going to hold the bad actors in our community accountable and turn them over to law enforcement. We're going to hold the rest of the criminal justice system accountable when it comes to bonds being set and judges, and taking too long to put these people away that are out there committing crimes, and we're arresting the same people over and over again.
Yeah.
So, we need the community support on all those kind of things. But also, it's a good time to remind everybody summer is kicking up. So everything from remember your kids in the car, your pets in the car. It's not too early to start talking about those things, being prepared for hurricane seasons coming up.
Absolutely.
And then just a reminder, we've talked about this before on your show, is the number of guns that are stolen out of unlocked vehicles across the city every year. You're looking around 300 guns stolen out of cars every year. Those guns aren't just being put in a case or a safe, right? They're being used to commit violent crimes across the city. So, if you're a gun owner, be a responsible gun owner, keep those guns locked up and away from people that are getting their hands on them.
But you know what? Let's harp on that for a second. If we forget, and we'll put that in air quotes, the gun in the car, and it is stolen and it is attached to a crime, is there a level of accountability on that gun owner's part, or are they just steer clear free?
Yeah, there is no responsibility on the gun owner as it is right now, right? You need to go ahead and quickly report it. As soon as you realize it, let us know so that we can enter it into the system as being stolen. Because you don't know, that same night or the next day, we might make a traffic stop and find that gun inside of a car, and we need to know that it's a gun that's reported stolen, and it's going to stay in that national database forever until we find it.
Right. And I want to talk a little bit about your recruitment efforts. Now is the time. You've been stressed and strained on recruiting officers for quite some time.
Yes.
Now that the billboards are up, we know that there is a pay increase. What would be that shining bell right now that would say recruitment is at an all-time high? This is what we expect, and this is who we're looking for.
Yeah, so it really is. The phones have been just ringing off the hook at the recruitment office, and emails coming in, applications, everything from lateral officers, people that are already post-certified, they've been in law enforcement before, either currently working in another department, or they got out of law enforcement and want to get back into it.
Okay.
So we have a lot of those people. We'll have an academy with them in July. Our last several lateral academies have been about 3 to 4 people. And
No. You can't just brush past that. What does it look like on average before we even get to the point to where we had 3 or 4?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you're looking like 10, 12 years ago, we would have a lateral academy. And like I said, these are our smaller academies because it's, people that have been police officers before, 9 or 10 people.
Right.
Now about 3, 4, but I had 20 folders on my desk of applicants that are already police officers that are looking to come over. Very similarly with our basic academies. When I went through the academy, we had 35 people in my academy. Our last several academies, we've been running with about 8, 10, that kind of numbers. And so we are gearing up to have a basic academy in January. Now's the time to start looking to apply for that, getting ready for the physical fitness test and taking the civil service test. Our recruiters can help get you situated with that. We're gonna have open houses coming up, run with the recruiter event in a couple of Saturdays. So now's the time.
What you mean, run with the recruiter?
Yeah, so it's kind of a mock physical assessment, and you can come out there, and they're going to put you through. This is what it means. This is the push-ups, the sit-ups, the obstacle course, the mile-and-a-half run, the what we use for the mile-and-a-half run, and kind of gives you tips on how to get in shape. You walk away from there with like a run plan and physical fitness plan. If you're not in shape right now, now's the time to get there as you're applying, because we're going to look to have that big academy come in January. But so with more people applying, we can really be more selective on who we get the top tier talent. It's not a mystery, no matter what kind of if it's a sports team, if it's any kind of business. If you have a lot more people applying, you can be more selective and get the top tier talent. that I think the city of Baton Rouge deserves.
Yeah.
Baton Rouge Police Department truly is one of the best departments in the entire country. We have everything going for us in terms of technology and the visions and resources, training, all the things. What we were missing was the funding, and now what we're seeing is a lot of people want to come be part of that team.
Yeah. And when you tap on technology, you have a lot of different ways to where the community can tap in with that as well. If we have our doorbell cameras on our homes, or if we have cameras on our businesses, what does that look like?
You're so smooth with those transitions. So you can tell you've been doing this a minute, professional. Yeah, so we do have a Connect Blue program is what it's called, Connect Blue. You can see that on our website. And that's for everything from business owners to if you have cameras on the outside of your home. Two different ways with the Connect Blue. One, you can give us direct feed. You know, if you're a business owner, you got cameras on the outside that view parking lot, street, stuff like that, you know, public facing ones. We don't want anything on the inside. Then you can give us direct access where we can monitor those in our real-time crime center, which is just a jewel, looks like something out of CSI that, you know, we have departments from all over across the country coming to look at when to replicate our real-time crime center. Second part is you can just say, hey, I live here, or I own this business here, I have cameras, and we just mark that on a map, and you give us your contact information, like an email address. So if we had some vehicle burglaries in your neighborhood, we can send you an email, say, hey, would you mind looking at your cameras between this date and this time? We're looking for a black Honda about this date, this time. Let us know if you see anything, or let us know if you see somebody running past. Give us a description of what they maybe were wearing. And then you can send us that video. We'll send you an email link, and you just attach it to that email, and then we have it, and you can play completely anonymous. And now we have some video evidence of things that are happening right around in your neighborhoods.
And it's important because at this point, we got to be tired. We got to say enough is enough. Somebody got to be saying something. And if everybody is a reporter with a camera in their hand, somebody is clearly knowing something and should be saying something, because it's exhausting.
Yes.
And every time you turn around and you see another family circle that's been broken, and you turn the city into an uproar, I don't even understand. Even for our officers, the work that you all do, are you tapping in on anything for their mental health to make sure that they have a balance? Because we're asking a lot of a human to be able to go out to these crime scenes, see what they see, and to be able to detach and be normal and adjust and still live with their heads on a swivel in the process.
Yeah, you got to make sure that that they're good, you know, that they don't either get numb or they just get bitter, right? That you can keep them, you know, operating like they should to provide the best service to the community. When have been working shorthanded, you know, we're supposed to be up close to 700 officers, and we're at 530. You know, that's a big deal. And we've been working, you know, understaffed for several years, but the officers have been stepping up to the plate, doing a great job. You know, and the ones that are riding around in the march units going to 911 calls to our homicide detectives, right? Everybody is overworked and understaffed. Technology is a great force multiplier, and so we're using a lot of that.
Yeah.
But the mental health and checking in on that, we've made great strides since 2016. We're looking to do even better here recently with some partnerships with everything from physical to mental to financial you know, kind of classes, you know, everything in between when you're looking at the entire well-being of a police officer.
Yeah. And thank you so much for our officers and their dedication, because this is a commitment, and they wake up and decide to do this every single day. It's got to be bigger than the job. It's definitely a calling, and you're working in purpose and passion for something that you love.
Yeah.
And the compassion to move you from the comforts of where you are to someone else on the other end of a 911 call. You never know what you're getting.
And we know we're not perfect, right? We hire human beings, and human beings make mistakes.
Yeah.
So if you have a bad experience with an officer, or you have something that, you know, we want to be transparent about that and have you report that as well. But on the flip side, you know, the officers that are out there doing a good job, tell them thank you, right? That goes a long way. If you say thank you to an officer that you see out there, give them a handshake, or send us an email if you catch an officer doing something good. It's real easy to complain, and it's like that for every business. You go to a restaurant, you're not leaving a good review, but if you had a bad service, you're going to leave a bad review. And so, you know, we want to hear both sides.
Absolutely. And rumor has it, you're going in front of council next week, something with Homeland Security. So I would love to get answers from the source. Tell me, what does that look like when you're talking to Homeland Security Council? What are some of the decisions that's being made in that room?
Yeah, so as the Baton Rouge City Police Department, just about most things that we do and money that we receive, money we spend, we go in front of council to get approval. You know, they have public hearing, and then council votes. What we're looking at right now is to do an agreement with Homeland Security. They're giving us a little over $1 million, one range of $1.3 million, to build out an area that is unused on the 5th floor of our headquarters, to be a joint task force area. A lot of people hear Homeland Security and they immediately think, oh my gosh, it's ICE and we're going to be doing raids. That's not what this is. Be very upfront and honest. That's not what this is. This is all about violent crime, guns, gangs, that kind of stuff. And so it would be a space that we could house about 50 people, from Homeland Security Investigations Team to ATF, FBI, DEA, state police, surrounding parish local agencies, have the task force in there. And really, that we had a meeting with them yesterday, and this is kind of a flagship, first of its kind in the entire country.
Wow.
That that we're doing this. We've had these partnerships, and so that's the other thing is it's nothing new that we haven't been doing, because we have officers assigned to all these federal task forces already. What this is doing is putting them all under the same roof,
Right.
so they can look at each other, talk to each other, and really focus on violent crime inside the city limits of Baton Rouge. And then if we find somebody doing that crime, take it to a federal level. If we not be able to get turnaround in the state kind of things, and you're a third-time offender where we keep arresting you with guns and you're wanting to commit homicides, then we're going to bring it up to the feds and let them try you as well.
Absolutely. So once you have this meeting, it's brought to the council, they approve it or not. And then if they do, you'll be able to expand on the 5th floor where you already are.
Yep.
And it's been tested that it's more than just a beta here. It's a necessity.
Yes. Yeah. And it's basically free money, right? Why would we say no to free money? They want to give us this free money to build out this space where we then can collaborate with more resources to dive into the city of Baton Rouge to go after the most violent offenders.
Absolutely. You know what? A couple of takeaways. Remember that the summer months are here. Be safe, hydrate, add an extra squat. That one's coming from me because that's just top of mind. But also gun safety. It's definitely necessary to keep that top of mind. We don't want just all of these random guns on the streets. And if you know something, please say something. Jobs. The word of the day is job, J-O-B. And I'm going to hook you up because rumor has it, if you're between the ages of 18 to 21, junior cadets, you can get up to how much?
I think it's about $46,000.
About 46,000. 18 to 21.
Yep.
That's a good bit
Starting
of money.
salary.
That's a good bit of money. Starting salary.
Yeah, and after 6 months, you get a merit increase, and then every January you go up to the next step.
Now is the time to give them a call, 225-389-3906. And maybe you want to work as a dispatcher. That friendly voice on the other end of that 911 call helps diffuse and give direction. It's definitely needed. And I would love for you to at least call and ask information about that. Fingerprint text. It takes so many different entities to make this work accordingly. So give them a call at 225-389-3906 or log on to GoBRPD.com. That's GEAUX, BRPD.com. And I am a fan of Connect Blue. We got these cameras in the eye in the sky, see everything. So why not connect and be that hidden voice or those hidden set of eyes that can really help shed some light in the areas that we need most when we need them the most. And if there's one walk away for you, one hard ask that you would have, what does that look like?
Let us help you, right? Let us be partners. If you want to get in touch with me, I'm super easy to get in touch with. Have the Chat with the Chief program that has been very successful since I launched it when I first became chief. On our website, right bottom right hand corner, you click Chat with the Chief. You can get time with me or have me come speak at any event you're hosting. You're a part of a group and you want me to come sit down and talk. I'm not a politician, so I'm going to give you real answers, right? And we can have open and honest conversations. So let's tackle this together and be partners.
Absolutely. And this is an extension of your office. And I look forward to getting you back in here real soon. You be safe.
Thank you so much.
And maybe like the next, you know what, Portia?
Yes,
Portia.
ma'am. Yes.
Okay, now listen, he said he'll come back, right?
Yes.
I have witnesses. He said he's coming back, right?
He's coming back.
All right, good.
Standing appointment. Standing.
Let's do it. Standing.
Okay.
I love a good standing appointment. I know you have more work to do, so I'm gonna let you chase the sun or let the sun chase you, but either way, get after it. I love you, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it.
Thank you so much, Dave.